Hey, Jessica here. Jessica Hurd, LMHC of JH Mental Health. I just wanted to stop on here and just say hello and to do a check-in. If you've been following along with my spring cleaning self-care challenge, I hope that you enjoyed. I hope that I got you thinking a bit, and maybe you've decided to make some changes, which is great if you have. The idea behind that is that, our mental health doesn't just stand alone. Our mental health can be affected by different areas in our lives. And so the idea of this challenge was just to get you observing different parts of our lives, and I broke it down into 6 areas, and just taking a look at what's happening, how you might be feeling, and, doing like a checkup for yourself. So I'm coming here just to maybe offer some, like, okay, if there's some things that came up, what might you do now? What kinds of reflections might you have had? So yeah, hopefully this is helpful, just kind of in closing out the challenge. So for the environment, and also I'll say, like, I don't know if anyone who did the challenge might have had like 1 or 2 main areas where they were feeling like they wanted to make changes, or I don't know if it was like all the areas, but yeah, I'll just go through each one and just offer a few tips. So for environment, maybe after doing the reflections, you thought to yourself, I need to do a closet purge. It's time to let go of some things that are no longer serving me. Maybe you did a whole deep clean of your home. Maybe you decided to rearrange some furniture, and now things are feeling clearer and more in sync. Maybe you decided to move altogether. Maybe where you live is no longer serving you, it's not a good fit anymore, and so maybe that's what you've decided to do. Maybe what ended up happening is that you've had conversations with roommates, with family, not regarding the home, but if it was a work environment that you're feeling is not a good fit the way it is right now, maybe you had conversations with colleagues or supervisors, bosses. I know a lot of people are still working remotely these days. So maybe it was just a matter of, where do you do your schoolwork or your work during the day? Is that working well for you, and how's that affecting you overall? Okay, and then we had physical areas of our life. So maybe you've decided, hey, it's time for me to schedule a physical. It's time for me to schedule that dental appointment. I have these specialists I need to see. So maybe you're deciding, like, now it's the time to do that. Maybe you've decided now that you want to get more active. Maybe that means joining a gym that might be open right now, or maybe doing virtual physical fitness, maybe getting a personal trainer, but maybe you just decided that you want to be more active, and what might that look like for you? Maybe you've decided now that you want to eat a bit healthier, cut back on sugar, drink more water, or just cut out fast food. I always suggest, when people are talking about making diet changes, to consult with their general practitioner, their physician, or talking to a nutritionist. So maybe you've also decided that you want to speak with a professional about that. Maybe, during the pandemic, maybe you have been drinking more. Maybe you've been using substances, and you've decided that that isn't so healthy for you, and now you want to cut back or decrease. And again, you could seek professional help regarding that, but maybe that's a decision that you're deciding to make right now, which is great. Socially, so again, you might have decided to have some conversations with friends, with family. Maybe you're in a relationship, so having a conversation with your partner. Or maybe you've done a self-check, and it's like, I have been withdrawing. I haven't really been talking to anyone. I haven't really been interacting with anyone. And maybe you have some people you need to reach out to. So yeah, just socially, I imagine that can mean a lot of conversations, or deciding that you are going to pull back from people in your life, whether that is having an upfront conversation first or just kind of fading into the background. But maybe that's the direction that you've decided to go socially. So I think I'm going to kind of merge emotional and mental health together just for the purpose of this video. So maybe now that you've done the reflections in either area for those, maybe you've decided that maybe there's something in your therapy that you haven't really been addressing, and so now you're ready to bring that up in therapy. Or maybe you haven't gotten started with therapy yet and you now want to look for a therapist. Maybe you've decided like maybe you need to try medication and a psychiatric provider would be helpful. I do have a blog post called Getting Started with Therapy, a Guide. And so you can check that out, jhmentalhealth.com/therapist-thoughts is where you can find that. Or you can find it in my Linktree, which is Linktree/JH_LMHC. Yes. So also in that area, emotionally more so maybe than mental health, maybe there's some unprocessed emotions, some feelings you're having, unresolved thing that you need to sit with, spend some time with. Maybe there's a trusted loved one that you can talk to about something that's been bothering you. So maybe those are some things you've decided to do with your emotional or mental check-in. And then finally, spiritual. Maybe you've decided that it's time to reconnect to your faith or your beliefs. Maybe you felt that you really have kind of drifted away, or you've been questioning what you really believe in now, and now you've decided that it's time to come back. Maybe you've realized that you're not engaging in your rituals or your self-care or religious practices the way that you had been before, and it's time to really focus on that again. Or, maybe it's just a matter of being more intentional. There were some questions about self and needs and just seeing ourselves as, spiritual beings. And maybe you're deciding that it's time to be more intentional, pay more attention to how you're feeling, and just honoring your needs on a day-to-day basis. Yes, so I hope again that if you had decided to do the reflections, the 6 days, that it was helpful, that you got something out of it, that if you've decided to make some kind of change, that you're going about it in a way that best serves you. And again, this is Jessica Hurd, and it's been my pleasure, and I hope to connect with everyone more often.